So with that, let's move on to the subject of Nigeria. Trump began bombing Nigeria apparently on Christmas Day, or he announced it on Christmas Day. And here is his insane post. Tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, and you'll see this is dated December 25th, the U.S. launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years and even centuries. I have previously warned these terrorists that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay, and tonight there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the U.S. is capable of doing. Under my leadership, our country will not allow radical Islamic terrorism to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including the dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continues. I don't know where to begin with this lunacy. The man proclaiming proudly, gleefully that he's ordered the killing of human beings on Christmas Day. Apparently, he's not aware of the admonition of Jesus of Nazareth to turn the other cheek as a response to violence. Trump thinks that the appropriate response to violence is to be 100 times more violent than those whom you accuse and target. So the big question here, Rami, is why? Why is he doing this? He claims it's to protect Christians. How can anybody take that seriously when he's arming to the teeth Israel that kills or maims Christians in Palestine, Syria, or Lebanon virtually on a daily basis, and has attacked religious houses of worship belonging to the Christian faith, including in Gaza? Ben-Gvir was just the lunatic national security minister of the genocidal entity, just justified the practice of spitting on Christians, which many Zionists living in Israel do. I actually witnessed that myself, by the way. The first time that I went to Israel, I was a young man. I met the Archbishop of the Greek Orthodox Church in Jerusalem at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And the next day, I was sitting at the entrance to the old city, particular entrance, writing down some notes in a journal of mine, and I heard a big ruckus, and I looked up, and the Archbishop, this is a true story, the Archbishop had an Orthodox Jewish man by the hair and was kicking him in the stomach. And I ran up to him and I said to him, Father, what are you doing? What is this all about? And he said, this man spat on me. And then he said, I know Jesus said to turn the other cheek, but I come from Sparta. That has stayed with me ever since. Anyways, I can, although I don't recommend that you engage in this kind of behavior, I can certainly understand, the frustration amongst Christians living in Jerusalem who have to put up with this kind of indignity. So anyways, nobody would take seriously, nobody thinking rationally and objectively would think that Trump is really motivated by a desire to protect Christians, nor would anybody believe that this is all about ISIS, because after all, Trump just had, a senior ISIS figure, al-Jolani, the new president of Syria, in the White House just a few weeks ago. The United States has never had a problem with ISIS when ISIS was serving its purposes. So that all begs the question, Rami, what do you think is going on here? Why is Trump bombing Nigeria?
Well, as someone mentioned in the comments, in January 2025, Nigeria was admitted not as a full member of BRICS, but as a partner state. That meant that it's basically preparing its path to possibly get closer to Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and the newly added countries. Nigeria is a strategic country as well. Just like Venezuela, it has a huge reserve of natural gas in the surrounding waters. And also there's a massive movement going on right now in the Sahel region between Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. There's a confederation of states being built. They've also recently announced the IOS, the regroupment of these three countries, that they're wanting to build their own currency and slowly decouple away from, well, they've already started decoupling from the CFA franc. And there's really nothing showing us that this movement is slowing down. And recently we noticed there was a small coup attempt in Benin that touches the ocean, and Nigeria came to the defense of Benin in making sure that this coup doesn't succeed. So ISIS, it's the proxy that allows the United States to have carte blanche in doing whatever it wants. So they started by targeting Boko Haram and these ISIS groups. I think I read reports that actually random, well, just like regular Nigerians were targeted in these attacks, actually, and beyond these ISIS threats. So I personally think that Nigeria is a strategic spot, and that is at a critical stage where it can quickly pivot towards Russia and China before it is quote unquote safe by the United States. So these attacks against ISIS are able to also maybe cement and power the president that is currently in place by reassuring their people that ISIS is an issue. I mean, security is a huge issue in Nigeria, and that he has American support. It's also allowing the United States to basically rinse and repeat their strategy in Ukraine, giving weapons to Ukraine, take the rare earths, bomb ISIS, takes the natural gas, bomb ISIS, put a threat to Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, because these countries might become a threat one day to countries that are still under the hands of their former colonial powers. Dimitri, I think you're muted.
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. And then of course, there's just the propaganda value of distracting the American public with another war when Trump is becoming increasingly mired in the Epstein scandal. And that has got a long way to go. By the way, I'm hoping to do a piece tomorrow to update everybody on the last day of the year on recent developments in the Epstein scandal. Before we leave the subject of Nigeria, I just want to show people a bit of interesting news from last year about the Nigerian president, Bola Tinubu. The FBI, the CIA, and the DIA last year blocked access to information relating to the Nigerian president's alleged ties to drug trafficking. That would be drug trafficking to the United States. And there's a lot of informed speculation out there that this man has been involved in major narcotics trafficking for years. And so, again, this just, undermines completely Trump's claim that he's attacking Venezuela because of drugs. And today, apparently, or yesterday, he announced that the United States had struck a dock in Venezuela. So this would be the first land attack, although he was very cagey in terms of what exactly happened there. It wasn't clear whether it was some kind of an operation being conducted by the CIA on Venezuelan soil, or whether it was an airstrike or a drone strike. He was not willing to give details, but he said, yes, we struck a dock because that's where they were loading the drugs. And this is the same president, who just released from prison Juan Orlando Hernandez, the drug kingpin who was president of Honduras, after he was convicted by a court last year in the United States for trafficking in huge quantities of cocaine to the United States. So, and here, as you can see, although this wasn't under Trump, this was under the Biden administration, the U.S. government blocked access to information about alleged drug ties of the Nigerian president. Quite a character. So,
just one last thought here, right? So, the United States changed the title of Secretary of Defense to Secretary of War. This title of this live stream is the year of World War III. The last time the title Secretary of War ended in 1947, right after World War II. We're seeing a front opening in Venezuela, a front possibly opening in Nigeria. Trump said that he was willing to attack Iran again if they were to develop missiles. He says that he has intelligence that is proving that they actually are. So in a sense where these, the United States have been in multiple fronts, of course, since before, but the change of title mixed with the actions that we're seeing, the hawkish actions of Trump in Venezuela and Nigeria, is just confirming us that we might be heading towards a much more confrontational world. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I think it's Nigeria today, but tomorrow it might be. I mean, we're already seeing some developments happening in Somalia and this fictitious state of Somaliland. So I think we should be very wary of Trump's involvement in Nigeria and keep an eye on other fronts that should be opening soon.
Yeah. So just to sum it up, this is the list. This is what we know. Who knows what actually happens? There may have been military operations conducted in multiple countries, covertly, and that we haven't been told about. But this is what we know Trump has done in less than 1 year since he returned to the White House. He has bombed Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Iran, Somalia, Nigeria, and Venezuela. Okay, that's in just 1 year, and that's just what we know. In addition, he has continued to provide massive amounts of weaponry to Ukraine, even though its army is being annihilated, and Russian forces are advancing all over the front line. Trump has armed to the teeth Israel as it attacked this year Lebanon, Syria, Iran, Yemen, Qatar, and of course, Palestine. And on top of all of that, according to the Russian government, the Ukrainians attacked a residence of Vladimir Putin. I believe it was yesterday, and the information around this is explosive. Frankly, what the Russians are saying is that Trump had a call with Putin before he spoke to Zelensky in Mar-a-Lago. I think again this was yesterday, and in that call, Trump said to Putin, I'm going to call you back in a few hours after I finish speaking with Zelensky. And then, according to the Russians, as soon as the meeting with Trump and Zelensky ended, Ukraine launched a massive drone attack on a presidential residence where Vladimir Putin apparently was located at the time. So what the Russians seem to be suggesting is that Trump told Putin to stay there or gave him a reason to stay wherever he was because they planned to attack his residence. Whether that's in fact what happened or not, I think it would be foolish of us in the extreme to think that Ukraine would attack the residence of the Russian president or any residence of the Russian president without a green light from Trump. Trump claims when he heard about this, he claims that he was upset and aghast that the Ukrainians had attacked a residence of Vladimir Putin. I don't know why anybody would take that seriously. Zelensky is in every respect dependent upon the United States, not just for his government's survival, but for his own physical survival. How long would he last without the protection of the United States? This corrupt autocrat whose term expired in May of last year and who rules effectively by martial law. So you don't bite the hand that feeds you. And the idea that man, Zelensky, would order his forces to attack a residence of the Russian president without Trump's approval, I find laughable, completely and utterly laughable. And whatever actually happened here, the Russians are, I think, too intelligent not to at least entertain the possibility that Trump authorized and perhaps even ordered the attack. Perhaps it wasn't simply a question of Trump saying, hey, man, okay, fine, I'll let you do it, but that Trump directed through his own military bigwigs, the Ukrainians to attack the President Putin's residence. All of the signs are, folks, that we're heading into a massive escalation around the world. We didn't even mention what's going on in Taiwan, where the Trump regime just announced an $11 billion arms sale to Taiwan, which is part of China. Even the U.S. government recognizes that Taiwan is part of China. This is a huge amount of weaponry for that little island to be buying from the United States. And this is the second arms sale under the second Trump administration to Taiwan. So all we can see right across the globe is escalation.